Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. It is Bella.
And Laura. And
Hello.
we are super excited to be here today because we are talking about something that can be challenging, but super, super effective, not just for weight loss and health, but just for happiness throughout life. And that is how to be a cheerleader for yourself and for others.
I absolutely love it. Yeah, such an important topic. Just as you said, mindset, I think, is everything when it comes to this. And also, supporting other people and lifting them up rather than tearing them down.
So we see a lot of times in the groups, especially, but we see that even in our comments on Instagram and in other places. There's a lot of comparison. There's a lot of feelings of inadequacy. So sometimes it's just like, you'll see somebody's flex on Flex Friday or somebody's transformation journey, or just that they're using heavier weights than you. And we'll see people feeling defeated because they can't even use any weights. And we want to try to help you know that that those thoughts you're not defeated, you're doing great, but everyone's at a different stage, and how you can react to these kind of things can actually help you succeed better. The best, I think, example we can talk a little bit about, Bella, is we have a lot of people, if you've done the Metabolic Factor program, or maybe you're doing metabolic renewal and you have someone like a husband doing it with you or a brother, and you find that, man, these guys are like losing this weight faster than you. And some of you are really kind of irritated by it. And that's not helping anyone. So do you want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that goes on there?
I think this is a great place to begin, especially when it comes to being your own cheerleader. There's that quote that says, comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that is so, so true. I see it in myself. I see it in my friends. I see it in people in the group. And nowadays it really is so easy to compare. I think just the key here to remember is that health and health journeys look so different for everyone, and also look different even within your life. You can go through seasons of, really, achieving your goals, and then seasons that it's a little bit more of a struggle. And every single season is different, and you just need to be very present, I think, in that moment, and not compare to even past versions of yourself, but also don't compare to others. You are a unique being, you're a unique human, and so it's not going to look the same as your spouse or your brother or your best friend, or even someone who's doing the program with you, maybe started at the same time, and you're panicking thinking, gosh, well, why are they seeing results and not me? We're all different. It's going to happen at different times, different stages, and that is okay.
For sure. And also just looking at, like, where are you in your cycle of life? So if you are looking against yourself, and sometimes like it's easy, I honestly was just telling Bella earlier, I was like comparing myself to like my past self. And what I realized was I was skinnier then. But like we were talking about how neither one of us were happier. So if we were going to go back and compare to that version of ourselves, it was like, okay, so if the scale told me I weighed less, which we still like are happy with our scale now, what were the other extenuating circumstances? So like my cycle wasn't regular. There's some other things going on. That wasn't like a success. Whereas now I feel much more in line. My sleep is better. My hormones are more balanced naturally, all those kinds of things. So you've got to kind of be gentle and look at where you are in the bigger picture. And then as a woman too, like, where are you in, beyond that too? So like some days like we see, the women who measure yourself every single day. And like, it's okay.
No, I think that can cause, I'm not discrediting if it does work for you, that's absolutely fine. But I think for a lot of people, and I know I am one of these people, it can just really induce stress and again, comparison and kind of an obsessive mindset. And I think when I get into a mindset like that, it's easy to miss the joy in things. And I think that's a really great way to combat comparison and these kind of negative feelings is choosing one thing to be grateful for, choosing one thing to be joyful about. And maybe that's not, maybe you are struggling with weight loss and it's not coming off maybe as quick as you wanted, or you used to be a skinny. Well, what's something that is joyful today? What is something you can be grateful for? Maybe you have great energy and you didn't used to, or maybe, it could be as simple as you've figured out how to cook a really awesome new recipe that your family loves, and it brings you guys joy to sit together and eat it. Whatever it is, there's something always to be joyful about. I truly believe that. And focusing on those things rather than the negative, which I know is easier said than done. I'm not sitting here, saying, oh, it's so easy to do that. It's tough, but making a conscious decision every day to focus on those positives, I think can really, really help.
Yeah. And I know Bella and I both are big proponents of like keeping journals and writing things down. And that's great to look at if you are feeling like you're struggling, or maybe just like you had a really good period where you were feeling like things were just cruising. And then all of a sudden 1 week it just goes, and then you can stop and look and go, okay, first, maybe take in the big picture, like what else has been happening that week. You know, maybe your kids went back to school, maybe you switched jobs, like there could be something else happening. And then focusing again, oh, well, that's stressful, but yay, my kids are going to school, or yay, I have, you got a new job. Like, that's great. Like, it's okay. Look at those things and they kind of all come together.
And I think those things also rub off on others too. I think if you're, out of this comparison trap and choosing to be joyful, then it kind of uplifts others as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually a great segue. That's part of why we want you to cheer each other on, cheer your spouse on, cheer your friends on, cheer the people in the group you've never met, become that person who is cheering everybody else on, because it helps keep you more accountable. I know, like, I am thankful every day that I get to have a job where I go in and interact with you all and see all of your struggles and all of your successes. And I love, love, love cheering you on. It makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel happier to go out and take a walk. It makes me just feel more joyful and alive. And it really does rub off. And I find if you are posting interaction, so if your spouse is doing really well, or he like just upped weights and you're like, I wish I could do that. That's okay. You can do that. You're not the same person, but like cheer him on and go, wow, that is awesome that you just switch to these heavier weights. Like, good job, honey. Because like, that's it. It will make you feel better and it will make them feel better. And then you both will succeed more.
So true. And again, I know it can be tough, and maybe you even honestly feel a little bit bitter if someone is achieving what they are and you're not quite there. But just choose to set that aside and just try your hardest to just be proud of others, be supportive of others, and just ask them how you can best help them. And I'm sure they'll reciprocate and do the same. As Laura said, we love our jobs. And one thing we get to do every day is ask others, how can we best support you? How can we help you today? What can we do to help you reach your goals and feel amazing? And it feels so good to help others. So
it does. And there's so many ways to help. So some people also like just in things you don't think about. So like if you go into a group, like even if you're in one of our public groups, because you've only done, let's say, the immunity challenge, and you say, I took a walk today, and you post your walk, you might not think anything of it. You're just like, okay, whatever. But because you did that, you've reminded and inspired somebody else to go out and take their walk that maybe wasn't going to go out, or they were feeling a little, or you share your progress photo that you thought was just kind of, but then guess what? It inspires them to know, oh my gosh, this is possible. Look at your transformation. I can do this. And even just like sharing your food, everything, it really does lift everybody else up.
I think that's such a great thing that you've mentioned, Laura, because, the Facebook groups are really good for this, but just if you feel comfortable with it, sharing as much as possible, being open and honest is such a great way to bring the community together and be supportive, whether that's, sharing a progress picture, being a little vulnerable, or maybe that's sharing a struggle, but being able to, relate to others and just being a listening ear for others too, and banding together, I think can go a really long way, so just if you feel comfortable and you are in our groups, just being open and honest and supportive by sharing, I think is excellent. And I know both Laura and I love to share in the groups too, but
but I love your shares more than anything else. So
and I love to see people's stuff going on and being able to relate and talk, because I guarantee you you're not alone if something's going on, and just it's great to kind of club together and be team human, as Jade says.
And just if this is something you're really struggling with, this whole mindset stuff, we do have, if you're not a member of our Metabolic Mastery Club, we have a whole bunch of videos with Dr. Johnny Anson, with Jade and Danny Coleman, our head of coaching, on MMC. We also have, of course, the head of coaching, Danny Coleman. He has done a few of these kind of videos for our social, but we also do have coaching. So some people, this is really hard for you, and you recognize that like just this mindset struggle is maybe harder than we're telling you these things. And you're like, okay, that's nice, guys. But like,
yes,
we have people who can help you. Okay. And just use the groups and use our resources. And
absolutely. Yeah, Laura, you said it great. Just we are here to support you in any way, and whatever that looks like. Just feel free to reach out to us if you want a little bit more direction, and we'll point you to the right place.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. And if you have, again, any questions, just let us know, and we are here for you. All right, bye.